Hey traders, are you feeling the impact and the pain from this week's market turbulence and big sell-off? You know, you're not alone when it comes to that. Fortunately, we were primarily all in cash, so we were protected. But during these turbulent times, it's, a time to be exceptionally patient and wait to get through the turbulent times. Like Mark Minervini says, your edge in trading comes from your ability to be patient and wait. In this week's video, I'm going to be discussing how to navigate times in the market such as this. Plus, got two great stocks I want to share with you that could be setting up to run regardless of what the market does. Remember, every week we provide you expert swing trading tips and market analysis to help you turn your challenges into opportunities so you can trade your way to freedom. So, hey, buckle up your seatbelts and put your seat back in the upright position and get ready to take off, because here we go right now. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. This is Dennis Wilburn, the AutoPilot Trader. I want to welcome you to Trade Your Way to Freedom. In the introduction, which I record after we've done this recording, I'm going to be asking the question of, if we close below the 200-day moving average, does that foretell of us falling back into a significant bear market? We'll talk a little bit about that tonight. Anil, welcome from Delaware.
Good to be here. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good to see you. I know that you're just really having a really great time with this market, right?
That is absolutely correct.
Anyway, so let's go ahead and jump in and just walk through everything. Got some really good stuff to share with you. Two great stocks that have some real potential of doing well. And so here will be kind of our lineup for today. Market movers next week. I'm not familiar with anything. I'm not aware of anything that's really going to be moving the market next week, except just the regular reports. We got the report on inflation today. And if you're over on the YouTube channel, welcome aboard. Just identify yourself, leave a comment saying hi. And if you're in the Zoom audience, what is the biggest issue you think facing the market right now? Leave a note down in the comment section for everybody to read. Is it inflation? Is it increasing interest rates? I understand that housing or mortgage interest rates went to 7%, and immediately you get a drop in demand on housing. And so, what about Anil? What do you think the big drivers are on the economy and that's going to basically either propel or repel a move either up or accelerate it to the downside? Anil, what do you think?
I think right now it's probably what people think Fed will do.
Okay.
That's driving everything, in my opinion.
So, and when does the Fed have its next meeting? Does anybody know?
That I don't know.
It's I think it's about maybe 4 weeks from now or so. Debt ceiling fiasco, that's a good one. Market sucks, increasing interest rates. Yeah, inflation rates and rates. Yeah, I think those are big things. And then uncertainty. I mean, we basically got the report that came in on today. It wasn't the CPI, but it was about consumers prices, and it took a big kick up in January. And so I know there's a lot of people that are concerned about that, because guess what? Our dollars just aren't going as far as they have in the past, and it it doesn't look like anybody is really taking charge of that to help us out. So let's jump in and go ahead and continue on. We could go and talk forever about that. I love this quote by Mark Minervini that says, "Keeping a detailed trade journal is the #1 tool for improving performance." Did you know that? March 14th. Thank you, Ashraf. And so it is absolutely true. I know I journal a lot, and I actually have written some journals that are available to folks. And so, remember that traders should all the materials we present are for trading purposes. Traders should always paper trade any new method prior to the risk of their own personal capital, past performance is not an indication or promise of future performance. So here's where we're at. Showing you that slide in the past. I'm really pleased with the track record the AutoPilot system and the active trend trading system has had since I researched and developed it over the years. You want to come back for next week's session because I am going to be covering 5 of the highest probability swing trade setups. There are chart patterns, and it's the top 5. And so if you know what those are, you'll be armed to be able to focus in on either one or 2 of them, become a master at that. And in reality, you don't need the rest. That's the big secret about trading stocks that people don't want to talk about, is you master 1 or 2 setups and chart patterns, and you can stop driving yourself nuts trying to rediscover the Holy Grail. Anil, I know you have settled down on your specific process for selecting charts or selecting stocks. I mean, is there validity in that? And by knowing the top 5, will that help people trade better?
Absolutely, because I've tried several different methods, and many of them are really good to excellent. And then I had to decide which one I want to use that I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that's what I found.
Cool. And so here's where we were last week. Bumped up a little bit this week. One of the things of note I want to highlight right here is the Dow, when I took the snapshot earlier today, has slipped into negative territory for the year. So what does that mean? It means the Dow has round-tripped its gains from January. So here we are pushing in towards the end of February. And oftentimes people will take a look at the January, February, and if you retrace back down through the lows of, back down to the lows that you started the year at in February, that oftentimes can also be an indication that there's going to be a significant shift in market sentiment. And so very kind of interesting. The S&P, if you remember correctly, let me go back. The S&P, was up almost 6% last week. Now we're down, it's up only 3%. And both the Nasdaq and the Russell are still in bear market territory, guys. And so what does that mean? That means that there's still a lot of inertia that's holding this market down. And again, with the things that you highlighted as issues that the market has to deal with, we may not get out of this for a while. And so I'm just sitting there going, I'm not predicting we're going to crash, but at the same time, I'm sure as heck ready just in case we do crash. And so let's go ahead and jump over into the indexes. I want to cover those really well because we're getting some very interesting stuff. Okay, here's the spiders. As you see on the spiders right here, what's happening is price actions are coming down and bouncing off of the 200-day moving average on a weekly chart. We're actually putting in what could be a potential hammer, which is a bullish reversal signal. At the same time, though, what's going on over here on the weekly chart? We had 2 candlesticks over the last, 2 weeks before this one that were bearish reversal signals. TSI has crossed over. It is still in its uptrend phase, and so it's got to pass and break below that, and that would be a negative for the market and expected to go lower than that. We have moved below all the moving averages except the 50. So on the S&P, I would be expecting a bounce back up into these moving averages that have turned over. We've had what can be considered a death cross in the 8 crossing below the 20-day moving average, and it looks very much like the trajectory is going to take it down below the 50-day moving average. Again, bearish signs for the market. So at this point, would not surprise me to see a bounce back up into the moving averages. or this trend line that's right there, and for a rebound. But I'll be waiting up here, anticipating a rally attempt. If the rally attempt fails, guess which way I'm going to go? I'm going to take a trade down to the downside with either the spiders and or looking at the inverse leveraged ETFs. So that's one of the things we've got with that. Momentum, as you see, has still shifted to the downside. Another thing that we can be looking at on the momentum is I like to draw in my trend lines here. And as long as momentum stays below that trend line right there, there'll be pressure on the market to continue falling. Okay, let's go and just take a real quick look at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq also is, well, there we go. Nasdaq is also, as you can see, Nasdaq a little bit weaker than the S&P. It is sitting right on top of the, in this case, it's the 50 and the 200-day moving average. We close at the low of the day or slightly below it. That could rip both through the 50 and the 200-day moving average. And one can take that as, again, a significant shift in market sentiment and momentum. Everything is piling down to the downside. The market forecast heading down, and the TSI also is heading down. Again, look over here, just take a real quick peek. And we are approaching an area where we could get a rebound based on this move on the weekly chart from the low of the year up to the high up here. Let's take, we don't normally do this, but I'm going to take a look at the diamonds, because as I said, the diamonds have diamonds are the non-leveraged ETF of the Dow. And as you can see, we started the year over here on the Dow. Here's the, and the low for that week was 328. And as you see, we're undercutting that. So the Dow in this particular case could be the canary in the coal mine that's saying, hey, it's a lot weaker out there than you expect it to be. So as I said, we don't normally look at the Dow, but it is not looking healthy. Remember last year, the Dow led a lot. Now, on the flip side of that, the Russell. The Russell is holding up better than the other indexes. It is way above its 200-day moving average. It's right here, but it's being challenged at the 50-day moving average. The probability of falling all the way to the 200 will increase dramatically if we close below the 50-day moving average. So that's what I've got here on the indexes. Anil, I'm looking also at these, it's just this little zigzag pattern. It's about time for it to zig back up and then possibly move on down. We'll see. But what's your thoughts on just what we see on the market?
On my system on triple screen, I have sell signal on all four.
Wow.
Okay, and that has not happened this year. That's the first time.
So your system is confirming my technical analysis?
Absolutely. I got down arrows.
So. Oh, wow. Cool. I mean, not cool, but, and that's one of the things where, I posted someone over the YouTube channel last week. I posted a video specifically about the market crash and how to protect yourself. And if you haven't watched that, please go over to the Market Tech Talk and take a look at it. It's a really good short video. It's like 8 minutes, but it'll give you some really good ammunition to survive if this market continues to crash. And so let's go over to, let me see here. Okay, let's go on over to, hey, our tip. Let's go ahead and talk about our swing trading tips. One of the major reason people lose money in the stock market is because they do not use stop losses. So if you want to reverse that, always use a stop loss. Number 2, practice your backup plan. That's one of the reasons why I'm showing this guy with a mobile phone. If you have a trading platform like from Fidelity, from Thinkorswim, for just about anyway, they have a app for your phone. Learn how to use it, because you never know. You don't want to be out there hanging and knowing, oh my gosh, this is going against me and I forget to put my stop losses in. Because if you have that mobile app, you can run in and do it, go outside and I would say take a smoke break, but people don't do that anymore. But do something, go to the bathroom and just, go in and put your order in. So have that mobile ready to go. And then number 3 is journal after and during every trading day. When this market that we're seeing right now, folks, is just absolutely remarkable from the number of opportunities to learn from it that it is presenting. It is absolutely, like I said, absolutely amazing what's going on here. So that's my trading tips for today. Anil, let's take a look at the stocks we're going to be looking at today.
All right.
And yours was NVDA. Now, the NVDA, didn't they have a big earnings?
No,
Yeah, they did right here. Pop. That looks pretty good. So what's your story? How are you going to trade it?
Now, wait a minute. My stock was Palo Alto Network.
Sorry about that. I knew that.
Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Sorry about that. No, I since I use my phone as my camera, I wasn't able to check it. Okay, so nice breakout, approaching resistance. And so how are you going to trade this?
It's still in the base. If you look at the market splits chart, it's still, I guess, more than 12% away from the pivot. And
okay,
I got a signal on the weekly chart. Weekly signals are usually very strong.
Okay.
Earnings are behind us. And so I like the stock. But right now, with the condition the market is in, I'll probably get only 1/3 position, start with the 1/3 position.
Okay. Yeah.
See what it does.
I like that. So
Comp rating, up, down, volume ratio, everything is excellent.
yeah, because it is running up really close to where you're going to find some overhead resistance right here at about the 190 level. And so, yeah, no, I like it. It's got, and this has always been a leader a lot of times in a lot of stocks. So I like it. Palo Alto Networks. And it also has weekly options for those who like to trade options. Here's my stock for today, which is Parker and Hannafin. They build some kind of control systems and all that kind of stuff. I really like this stock for a couple of different reasons. One, it's got a composite score of 99, accumulation distribution score of A, and it has an up-down volume of 2.1. We are in a really nice little bull flag, pulling it back into where it broke out from. I could actually almost take the trade here, or I could trade to, put in a conditional order to trade it off of about the 340, I would say 343 level, or the last potential place to trade this was take that flag that breaks above that flag slightly and back above the 8-day moving average. That would be a good sign to jump all over it. And so what's your system say about pH?
Both daily and weekly signals are on the green. So that is good. The weekly signal actually came way back in October.
Okay.
Daily signal came January the 5th and has not gone away. So looks excellent.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, I really like that. Is a nice it's turning into being what they call a dragonfly doji, which is a cousin to the hammer, but it's at an end of a nice, uniform pullback into the moving averages. And the other pieces that makes it very uniform is check out that, that decreasing volume. And so, yeah, it's an excellent area. And so it's either a buy right where it's at, or again, because it is acting much stronger than the market. Or if you want to, just take it on a move back above the 8-day moving average, and the 8-day moving average is currently sitting at, let me give you the number on that. Okay, 8-day moving average is currently sitting at $348, and so I would put in you could put in a stop limit order to buy it at $348 and a nickel. And then my stop loss would just basically be if it came down and fell back and broke back down below the breakout level, that would be my stop loss. And Barbara bought a leap in Palo Alto Network. So that's what I've got, Anil.
I checked your stock just a second ago also on the monthly chart.
Yeah.
And I buy signal on monthly also.
Oh, cool. I like that. And so, okay, any questions? We got time for just like a real quick question or a real quick stock? Yeah, PH is the stock, Barbara. Yeah, and like I said, I would either buy it here. I prefer to buy it on a pullback into the on a pullback back into the midsection of the wick there. But that is a rally wick that's going on. The buyers are in charge, taking it back up, or a breakout above the flag. And if you're a AutoPilot Trading member, I'll be putting that order out during our next session at 12 noon Pacific time. Okay. Any others? Nobody has any stocks. Okay. Anil, then. Okay, let's take a real quick look at that. SRS. This is short real estate. Oh, okay. Looks kind of interesting. What kind of volume do they have on that? Yeah, it's got, Ashraf, it's got really kind of crummy volume. And as you can see, the momentum has run all the way back up in the TSI up into the upper level. So that's oftentimes the place where it's going to turn around. However, what are we looking at here? Look for just go a real quick move on this, is as you can see, I'm going to take that low to that high, move it back down to here. And as you can see, it has reached that initial target there. It would not surprise me to see it pull back into the midsection or just a little bit below the midsection of the weekly candlestick. Throw in just one other Fibonacci. I just have, love working with these Fibonacci's to give you an idea of where it might pull back to. And as you can see there, we said the midsection, midsection of the candlestick is about the 1650 level. Upside targets, 18 and then 20, really good upside targets. But the thing that bugs me about it is not bugs me about it. I wouldn't trade it simply because its volume isn't there. The volume is below 250,000 shares. So that's it for today, folks. Anil, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
By
so,
the way, I started using your journal, and that's very helpful.
well, thank you. And as I pointed out at the beginning, Mark Menendez said it's the #1 tool for improving your trading. I'll put links to the journals down in the description on the YouTube channel, and when I send out the email with the video. So I'm very proud of the work my son Brandon did on pulling that journal together. So hey guys, 2023 breakthrough to consistent trading success. That's my goal and my objective and my desire for each one of the AutoPilot traders. And so with that, Anil, thanks for the great session today. And we'll call it a day and see what the market has to offer us going into next week.
Hey, thank you very much. Enjoy
Okay,
it.
aloha, everybody. God bless.